Alright, I'm still at it. Not giving up, trying to save my daughter some money. Last I left out, I had installed this feed line, oil feed line on first, and it took me a while to get it on there. And then when I did not put the bottom exhaust nuts. I don't know what I was thinking, and I waited. And I also installed this water inlet line 2 before putting the brass manifold nuts. By doing that, I was not able to put this nut, the one on the bottom, because this is in the way. And then I was going to put the nut on the one on the bottom. I cannot because that's in the way. I had a hard time trying to attach it to the oil cooling filter housing until I finally got it. And now I have to remove it just so I can put that manifold nut in. Yeah, I don't have to really remove it. I just gotta break it loose, the frame, and just push that water inlet line down so I can slide the exhaust manifold nut in. Look how far off that oil feed line is from the screw hole. In my other video I was trying to explain that this hose, like the water feed line, had like some kind of play, and I thought maybe I didn't tighten down, so I removed the water return line to try to tighten down the feed line, and it was tight. So then I put the water return line on, tightened it too, and it had like little play. You know, today it doesn't. So I ain't gonna remove this no more. The turbocharger booster, I'll leave it alone. I need to remove that third screw. It holds down that pipe and the water inlet hose right through that frame, so I can put that exhaust manifold nut on. You can see two. I need 2 more to go, I think. So make sure you put all your exhaust nuts on before anything else, and tie them down. The 17 metric wrench. That line there was hard to put on. The water return line. So you put that on first, then your oil cooler, along with the oil return with the oil, along with the oil return pipe. And then you mount it on the clamp. And then you slide in the hose that goes on the thermostat housing. I still don't know what those are really called. That go on the oil cooling filter housing port where the oil feed line slides in. They're meant to stay on. They got 3 square ports. I would never have got this at that time. I thought it was a cap out because of these here, because of that there. In order to remove this cap, special cap, I had to remove the housing and then press on these 3 things and push it back out. The old one came with the O-ring. I didn't see no O-ring on the new one. And when I took it out, when I melted it, I didn't see no O-ring in the oil cooling filter housing, the inside. I took the screw out. Now I'm able to move that line out of my way so I can slide in the brass nut. Move the water inlet line out of my way. There's still not enough room to get in there, so I'm gonna have to undo that clamp. And pop the hose out. Yeah, I got it on. Got to remove that screw, the minor screw, and I use that there to get it started. Want to register more up the top, but to get it on, I did it from down here. I use that. The only issue is when I try to remove it, get it out of there. Once I tighten it down by hand, the further I can go. This stayed on the nut. Had a hard time removing this away from the brass nut. That gave us a hard time last time. My son got it in there with his hands, but none of the stuff on the bottom was in the way. We had all that stuff out. The oil return line was out of the way. The oil drain line was out of the way, and the oil return line was not clamped on. And my son was able to get his hands in there to put that one nut in there, the brass nut. Unfortunately, he's in school, so I gotta manage. These are all 10 metric that I had. Last time I used them on, I couldn't use them because of the swivel. And this was at an angle, it was hard. And like I said, my son got it on. But I went and I bought one that doesn't have a swivel. So 10 metric. I pushed on the pry bar with my right arm and I rinsed it with my left. And I got a few turns, and now I'm gonna screw it in. Once I rinse the nut in so far, rinse it in, I was able to use that ratchet now with the 10 metric. So far I was able to use this one here to tie in, to snug that one, and that one. I couldn't use it here because this here bracket was in the way. I couldn't use that, so I used this long one, number 10. I had to use that 1/4 inch ratchet with the 10 metric 1/4 inch socket, deep socket, and then that size extension to tighten that nut down there. Right there, that's what I had to use. I had to use that one to tighten that nut, bottom nut. I used that with the short 10 metric. 1/4" drive, socket, ratchet, extension. I use these three to snug the brass nuts on, except for I use it for 4. The other 2 I use the extensions, the owner. I know I said to do that last. The mounting screw for the water in line. Well, if I would have did that last, the oil feed line would have been in my way. So I'm gonna screw it on and then put the clamp on. I use the number 8 socket to get that screw on. Instead of using the E10, I used the number 8 1/4" socket. I got all the exhaust manifold nuts on. I have the water inlet line mounted to the oil cooler, and then clamped on the inlet water pipe on the oil cooler filter housing. Now it's time for the oil feed line. There you go. What I did, I removed the screw there, popped that out, from the oil cooling filter housing port. Then I screw that in, about maybe three threads. Then I popped that back in. Took a while. Now it's time to mount the west gate actuator. Making sure that plate's on, it's in the right direction before I mount it in. Now I hope the inlet and outlet water lines don't leak. I'm debating, I should have bought new ones too. And then the rubber washers seem different, but we'll see. Many times I tore it apart because of all the mess ups I did. Did this when I should have done this, and blah blah blah. I'm not too worried. Man, I'm just gonna, just work on it. Here it is. When I removed it, I dropped the clip. I'm going to see if I can find it down on the floor, or I'll take the one off the old one. 10 metric to tighten the nuts. And I put the clamp on too, hose clamp. I found it. So the blend was mixed in there, camouflaged with all the other stuff. There you go, cut it in with the long screwdriver.